I want you to look at this car and guess the price. 637 horsepower, a 45-inch 8K screen, and a 0 to 60 that beats a Porsche 911. You're thinking 100K, right? Wrong. This is the Geely Galaxy E8, and it costs $30,000. That's not a typo. For the price of a base model Honda Civic with cloth seats, China just built a luxury spaceship that makes Tesla look like a 2010 BlackBerry. I am officially offended we can't buy this in the States. And today I'm gonna show you why the entire car industry is panicking. But don't blink, this is where it gets crazy, because there's one feature in this car that no US brand would ever dare to try. And I'm gonna show you exactly what it is when we step inside. Welcome to Torque Atlas. Let's roast, expose, and violently praise the Geely Galaxy E8. Okay, let's start with the face of this thing. Walk with me. Look at this front end. Most EVs look like they lost their mouth in a tragic accident. Just a flat, boring piece of plastic where the grille used to be. Not the E8. Geely gave this thing what they called the ripple of light front face. Listen, I'm not exaggerating. This is wild. This bumper has 158 individual illuminated micro windows built directly into the fascia. It's an integrated light show. When you unlock the car, it greets you like a futuristic Audi mixed with a literal spaceship. It ripples, it breathes, it is the coolest daytime running light integration I have ever seen. And the headlights, these razor-sharp LED modules look like they belong on a McLaren. But here's the kicker that car nerds are gonna lose their minds over: the aerodynamics. Geely engineered the absolute life out of this hood. See these aggressive muscle lines? They aren't just for flexing at the grocery store. They channel air perfectly over the roof, resulting in a drag coefficient of 0.199 CD. Wait, let me back up. 0.199. For context, a Tesla Model S Plaid is 0.208. This $30,000 Chinese sedan slips through the air better than a $90,000 American Hyper EV. That feels illegal. Oh, and see that tiny little bump right above the windshield? That's not a GPS antenna. That is a fully integrated LiDAR sensor for autonomous driving. Hidden, flush, clean. Ford can never. Now, let's look at the side. This is where you realize this is not a compact budget car. The Galaxy E8 is over 16.4 feet long, 5,010 millimeters. That's bigger than a BMW 5 Series. Look at this stance. We've got a swooping, fastback coupe roofline that aggressively slopes down into the trunk. The shoulder line, that crease running right beneath the windows, is so sharp you could slice a tomato on it. And check out these wheels. 19-inch aero disc alloys, though you can option 20s if you want to be a little extra. The brake calipers are tucked behind them, looking sporty, but it's the body control that gets me. We've got flush pop-out door handles, because of course we do, it's an EV. But the doors themselves, frameless windows, soft close, frameless doors on a car that costs less than a loaded Honda Civic. Why do Chinese cars look this premium while ours look like they were built to survive a rental fleet? I'm genuinely asking. And trust me, if the outside looks this good, the inside is gonna melt your brain. Keep watching, because that screen I mentioned earlier is about to make you rethink your entire life. Moving to the back. Okay, now I'm impressed. This rear end is giving me massive Porsche Panamera vibes, but modernized. We have a continuous LED light bar stretching across the entire width of the trunk. But if you look closely, get the camera in here, the light cavity is made up of 390 individual LED beads. When you hit the brakes, it doesn't just light up, it creates a 3D depth effect that looks incredibly expensive. Down below, we've got an aggressive rear diffuser. Obviously, there are no exhaust pipes because it's an EV, but the aerodynamic lower bumper creates a wide, planted stance. It looks heavy, but in a good way. It looks like executive luxury. This is the type of design that makes legacy European brands sweat through their tailored suits. Alright, let's talk power, because looking good is fine, but if it drives like a golf cart, who cares, right? Well, prepare to be furious at your local dealership. The Galaxy E8 sits on the Geely SEA platform. If that sounds familiar, it's because it's the exact same architecture underpinning the Polestar 4 and the Zeekr 001, cars that cost way more money. You can get this in a single motor rear-wheel drive setup, which gives you a very respectable 340 horsepower, But we aren't here for a respectable. We are here for the Starship Performance Edition. The top-trim dual-motor all-wheel drive version pushes out 475 kilowatts. That's 637 horsepower and 710 newton-meters of torque. 0 to 60, 3.49 seconds. A standard base Porsche 911 takes 4 seconds. This family sedan will gap a 911 off the line, and you can buy 3 of these for the price of 1 Porsche. But wait, it gets worse for the competition. Let's talk charging. The performance model runs on a true 800-volt high-voltage architecture. This isn't just marketing fluff. The battery, the motors, the inverters, everything is 800-volt. They're using silicon carbide inverters to maximize efficiency. What does that mean in the real world? It means you can plug this thing into a DC fast charger and it will add 180 kilometers, about 111 miles, of range in 5 minutes. This thing charges faster than my phone. You plug it in, walk into the gas station to buy a questionable hot dog, come back, and you have enough range to drive across the state. And the total range, depending on the battery pack, they offer 62 kilowatt hours or 76 kilowatt hour lithium inorganic phosphate packs, you're looking at up to 665 kilometers on the CLTC cycle. In American EPA terms, that's comfortably over 320 to 350 miles on a single charge. I'm sorry, but this is the type of tech that would break the US market overnight. Now I know what some of you are typing in the comments right now. Yeah, but it's cheap. If it crashes, it'll fold like a lawn chair. Actually, no. Hold up. This next feature should not be legal for this price bracket. Geely implemented what they call the Aegis battery safety system. This isn't just physical armor under the car, though it has that, high-strength steel and aluminum protecting the cells. It's monitored 24/7 by the Geely Xingri Intelligent Computing Center in the cloud. The car's brain is constantly checking the thermal state of every individual cell to prevent thermal runaway. As for active safety, you have a full ADAS suite, adaptive cruise, lane centering, automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, cross-traffic alert. But remember that LiDAR bump on the roof I showed you? This car has highway NOA, navigate on autopilot. It can handle highway driving, lane changes, and off-ramps autonomously. It uses millimeter wave radars, ultrasonic sensors, and a swarm of high-def cameras. This car practically refuses to let you crash. You'd have to actively try to hit something, and even then, the Galaxy E8 would probably just take the wheel and judge you. Okay, deep breath. Welcome to the main event. Remember what I said earlier, that there was one feature no American brand would dare to put in a $30,000 car? Behold, this is a 45-inch, true 8K resolution borderless OLED screen. Let me be very clear so you understand what you are looking at. This is not 3 separate iPads glued together under one piece of glass like Mercedes does with the Hyperscreen. This is one single continuous panel. It is 9.8 millimeters thick, it has a 98% screen-to-body ratio, and it runs on the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8295 chip, which has 8 times the computing power of the chip found in most of the cars driving on US roads right now. Look at this, 0 lag, 60 frames per second. You can play actual high-end video games on this screen while parked. The passenger can watch movies in true 8K, while the driver has the gauge cluster and navigation in front of them. My Tesla screen suddenly feels like a 2012 Android phone. But tech is nothing without comfort, and frankly, they nailed it. These are Geely's 4D cloud sensing seats. Don't ask me what the 4th dimension is, maybe it's time travel, maybe it's just really good foam. All I know is they're wrapped in an incredibly soft, perforated synthetic leather. Of course they're heated, of course they're ventilated, but they also have a multi-point massage function. Let me repeat, massage seats in a $30,000 car. Honda, Toyota, are you guys taking notes? Because you're charging me $35K for cloth seats that have to be adjusted with a manual plastic lever. The details in here are what make me the most jealous. Look at this center console. This rotary dial is made of crystal. It looks like it was stolen out of a BMW X7. And the ambient lighting? 256 colors. But it's not just a single strip of light, it's dynamic, it pulses to the music. And speaking of music, we have an available 12-speaker Infinity surround sound, and some models get a 23-speaker setup that includes speakers built directly into the headrest. So if the navigation needs to tell you to turn left, it whispers it directly into your ear without interrupting the music playing for the rest of the car. It's like having a tiny butler living inside your seat. And for the tech nerds, the UI is built in partnership with Meizu using Flyme OS. If you have a compatible phone, it seamlessly mirrors your apps, your clipboard, your navigation instantly. The integration is so deep, Apple CarPlay looks primitive. I swear, this interior looks more luxurious than cars 3 times the price. I'm sitting here trying to find the cheap plastics, trying to find where they cut corners to save money, and apart from maybe a few lower door bin plastics, it's flawless. Alright, so it's fast, it's safe, and the screen is bigger than my TV. But what happens when you actually have to, do normal human things, like carry passengers or go to Costco? Let's talk practicality. Because of that massive 29-25mm wheelbase, the backseat legroom is absurd. I am completely stretched out. The floor is totally flat because there's no driveshaft tunnel. You have separate climate zones back here, USB-C ports, and a massive panoramic glass roof that makes the cabin feel like a greenhouse. Around back, the trunk gives you 465 liters of space. It's deep, it's wide. You could fit a week of Costco regrets in here no problem. Strollers, golf clubs, whatever. And because it's a dedicated EV platform, you actually get a frunk. 53 liters of front. Perfect for your charging cables, gym bags, or hiding snacks from your kids. It hits every single practicality metric without looking like a boring minivan. Let's summarize what we have here. We have an executive-size sedan, a drag coefficient that beats Porsche, over 600 horsepower, 0 to 60 in under 3.5 seconds, a 45-inch 8K OLED screen, massage seats, 800-volt hypercharging, and a cloud-connected LiDAR safety system. If this car had a Mercedes badge on it, it would be $110,000, easy. If it had a Tesla badge, it would be $80,000, but it's Geely. In China, the base model starts around 178,800 yuan. Do you know what that translates to in US dollars? $24,300. Even if you get the absolute top-tier, fully loaded Starship Performance all-wheel drive version with every single option ticked, it tops out around 30 to 32,000 USD. The price is this. And yes, America would riot if this came here. A brand new base Honda Civic, a great car, don't get me wrong, starts at $24,000. You're telling me that for the price of a cloth seat, 150 horsepower Civic, you could have an 800-volt luxury spaceship with an 8K screen. This is why the global market is terrified. This is why international markets, including our friends up in Canada who are starting to see the massive influx of competitive foreign EVs, are looking at a completely different landscape than we are. This car is a wake-up call. It's proof that high-end EV tech does not need to cost as much as a mortgage down payment. So I have to ask you a very serious question. Imagine tomorrow, all tariffs disappear. A dealership opens down the street from your house. You have $35,000 in your pocket. Would you pick this Geely Galaxy E8, or would you go buy a base Tesla Model 3, or a BMW 3 Series, or a Honda Accord? Be honest, because looking at this, my loyalty to American and European brands is hanging on by a very thin thread. So what do you think? Is the Galaxy E8 the ultimate future family car, or is it just a spec sheet flex that will be a future flop? Drop your thoughts below right now. While you're down there, smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and buckle up, because next time we're checking out another Chinese car that might literally embarrass the entire industry.